Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about how to use the software program ToolKit CMA to build a very nice presentation for your clients. If you're competing for a listing, you want to have everything that you've got look the best you possibly can and really stand out. We've got some great tools in our tool belt to try and make that happen, and one of them is ToolKit CMA. So I'm going to open two tabs here. One is 21 Online, and the second one is going to be whatever multi-list you're going to use. Now, please keep in mind that you can use any multi-list with ToolKit CMA that we belong to. It's just a slightly different way of uploading the listings. So let's first go into 21 Online. I'm going to sign in. And remember, many of our tools are inside of 21 Online. So sign into that first. Your username, again, is your first name, period, your last name, in most cases, at central21.com. And then if you don't remember your password, click on Forgot Password, and it should send it to your regular email address. Once we log in, again, we can open this menu over here, and it gives us a lot of choices, but we can also search. And for me, it's easier to type in ToolKit space CMA, and you're going to see how to create a presentation, how to upload personal pages. And I'm just going to go right to the app because this is a basic introduction to the software. I'm going to actually go through and create a presentation in about 15 minutes and show you how easy it is to build something that looks really nice. So you'll see two choices here. The first is to create a presentation, and the second is to create a flyer. I'm going to start with flyer for just a minute to show you what's possible. This is a flyer program that allows you to really easily import photos and some text and build a beautiful flyer for any listing very, very quickly. You're going to see a lot of different choices, several dozen of them actually. So anytime you need to put a flyer together for one of your properties, you can import the information and very easily create a flyer using ToolKit CMA. But let me go back because we're really here today to look at creating a presentation. So if I click on that, it has a pull-down menu that allows me to create a listing presentation, one in Spanish, a pre-listing, a CMA-only presentation, a buyer presentation, a fine homes and estates presentation, and even a commercial real estate service plan. Now today I'm going to stick with listing presentation and create one. And you're going to see a lot of different pages. Now we've added some custom pages ourselves to this list, stuff you can add, stuff you can remove. And you can add all this and put it together in a beautiful package that can be emailed. You can create a PDF. You can go over with your client over Zoom. You can do that right from within the software. There's a lot of choices here. Now, as you see all these pages, you're going to be able to open them up and take a look at what they look like, how I propose to work, information on selling your home. 4 out of 5 homes in 2020 were purchased through a real estate broker. Your listing on many, many websites, relocate almost anywhere in the world. There's lots of choices here. I want to focus down here on the actual CMA today, on subject property page, on the CMA itself, and on a map of the area. So I'm going to actually uncheck all of these. I could make a much longer presentation. I'm going to uncheck all of them. And I'm going to start by hitting subject property page with picture. I'm going to do an aerial map of the comparable properties so that they can see where they are and that we're going to pick properties right in the area that we're talking about. Now I've got a couple of choices here. I can do a picture CMA page with 3 properties per page. It looks like this. I think come out very nice. Or if I want something a little bit bigger, I can do each page has the property, some information on it, and the location if I want to do that. Or I could even do a picture CMA where there's multiple photos attached as well so that someone can see the inside. Now, I don't want to take it to that level because I don't want to print 30 pages or 50 pages or 100 pages, but you can do it very, very easily. So for this simple CMA, I'm going to use subject property, aerial map, picture CMA with 3 properties per page. And I'm also going to do a price adjusted CMA with pictures. Now, what that allows me to do is slant the value based on what's in each house compared to another one. And then I might also pick this recommended price range at the end. I might put in my accomplishments, my references. I might pull in my Zillow reviews or my Real Satisfied. I might put in some social media. But right now I'm going to stick with these 5 or 6 different tabs. I'm going to hit next. And it's going to ask me what property I'm trying to share, what property I'm trying to use. And the one I'm going to use is 7936 Cross Creek Circle, primarily because that's a property I sold recently, and we can use that as an example to try and build a quick CMA. I'm going to put in a fake name. In this case, we're going to call it John Miller. Cross Creek Circle, that house is in Briningsville, Pennsylvania, 18031. I'm going to say, Dear John. Subject property address is Cross Creek Circle, and the address zip code is 18031. Next slide, and it asks me, what MLS am I going to use? Now, again, if you're part of the Bright multi-list, you can use that. If you're part of the Lehigh Valley, you can use that. If you're part of Scranton or Luzerne County, that's fine, or part of the Poconos, you can use that. In this case, I'm going to use the Lehigh Valley multi-list because that's what I'm in. I click on that, and it allows me to do one of two things. Either connect to the MLS to do a search, and there's always an MLS download guide that helps you through the process, or to choose a file and upload a file that I've already saved to enter that data. Now, I prefer this because it's easier for me in any way to run the search in the multi-list and export it into ToolKit CMA. Again, this only takes a few minutes. So I'm going to go back, and I know this is a townhouse. It's in Cross Creek, which is a subdivision in Upper Macungie Township. So I'm going to start by pulling down Search, Detailed. I'm going to choose Available, Sold, and Under Agreement. And under those solds, I might pick 10/1/2020 and greater, anything since then. I want residential, and since I'm in an area which is a townhouse development, I'm going to pick that it's only townhouses or semi-detached. Now, again, as I put this together, the more restrictions I put in, the more things I check off, the less likely I am to come up with listings. The property is in Upper Macungie Township, so I'm going to scroll till I find that. And now I've got two choices. I've got 176 townhouses in Upper Macungie that have sold in the last 10 or 11 months or are available. That's a lot, way too many. I can limit it to just that subdivision by typing it in, or I can do a map search. In this case, I'm going to do a map search. And in this map search, I can see that Upper Macungie covers a very wide area. But the area where Cross Creek Circle is right over here in this section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a polygon, and I'm going to just pick these comparables as what I'm going to focus on for the value of the property. I pull up results, and I see there's a really wide range for townhouses. There's one on the market for 305. That's the available one here. Then the sales run all the way from 237.5 up to a crazy 330. You're looking at almost $100,000 difference in a townhouse subdivision. Seems pretty extreme. So let's take a quick look at them. What I see is the first couple were older, sold in 2020. And obviously we know in 2021, the prices really shot up quite a bit. 2020, 2020, 2020. First one at 2021 is the one for 270. And actually that's a small unit, 1,440 square feet. Most of them in there are 1,800, but we'll come back to that. 2020 again, and then we're up to 2021, 295, 305, 306, 308, 315. Okay, so this leads me back to, I want to change my comps a little bit. So instead of having those properties from 2020, I'm going to start with 2021 because prices did jump. The other thing I'm going to do is above grade square footage, I'm going to put 1,600 plus, because I'm going to wipe out that one that's very, very low. Let's go back to the results again. Let me change this to a single line grid. Now my values are 295 to 330. It's a bit of a tighter range for the solds. And they're 3 under agreement, 295, 3099, and 314. I've got a pretty tight range. So I'm going to check all of these, and I want to get these into ToolKit CMA. So I'm going to go down here to export, and I'm going to export them to Realty Tools. And that is going to create a file on my hard drive that I'm going to then import into ToolKit CMA. So I'm going to choose a file. In this case, I'm going to go to my downloads. I'm going to pick out, we're going to click on Realty Tools Export. That I'm then going to upload. I can pick just one photo per listing, or I can have all the photos upload. In this case, I'm only using one photo, so that's fine. Loads everything in. And it's going to come back and show me all the listings that were put in and ask whether or not I want to use them. And I do. So I'm going to hit next. And now it's going to ask me about the subject property. Again, this is in Upper Macungie Township. It was built, I think, in 2006. Lot size is common because it is a condo. It's 1,870 square feet. It's a semi-detached dwelling. It is a townhome, 2 stories, 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, and 1 half bath. Heating is a heat pump, I believe. Photo, I'm going to pick out, again, I've downloaded one. So let's use that real quick. Cooling is central air. We've got a garage that is a 1-car attached. Vaulted ceiling might be an interior feature, and so forth. I'm going to hit next. Now this is where we can adjust the CMA. So for example, if I'm looking through this and I see that the first one on Kingway sold for $295, and it's a little bit smaller than mine, maybe I'll add something to it. And by the way, you don't have to do this. It's just something that's possible. So let's say we add 10,000 to that value. Other than that, they're all, looks like 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. This one actually is 4 bedrooms. So maybe we'll subtract 5,000 from that one. Deck, covered porch, we can put anything in we'd like to, and we can actually adjust this to try and come up with the value we want. Now, again, you don't have to adjust this at all. You don't even have to have this page in. It's just one way of trying to justify the numbers. Now, it automatically creates a value range here. Now, I'm going to change this a little bit. You don't have to leave it the way it is. That it's going to sell somewhere between 300 and I'm going to say 315, because that's really the range of what's sold. We hit next, and I can create a tablet presentation if I want to. In this case, I'm just going to create a presentation. It's going to take a couple of minutes to do it, or a couple of seconds anyway. And I'm going to save this so I have it for posterity. Now you're going to see at the top a couple of possibilities here. View PDF, which I'll show you in a minute. You can actually open a Zoom meeting in order to go over the presentation over the internet. I can share that presentation. I can send an email. I can share it with them. I can text message them, all from within the software. In this case, I'm going to view PDF. And in that PDF, we're going to find the pages that we had. So we've got the subject profile, the information that I plugged in. We've got a map of comparables. Now, this is unusual. Typically, it centers the comps, but in this case, it shows all of them are over here, but they're all in that neighborhood, which is great. Then it shows you the comps so that you can go through them with the client. Or number of them. So we've got 4 pages of those. Then it has that breakdown so you can compare everything across the grid if you'd like to. A lot of agents like going through that with their clients. And then at the end, it says it's probably going to sell between 300 and 315. Again, this took 10 minutes to create, is a beautiful CMA. And you can do this over and over again very, very easily. So let me go back for a second. Up here is a go-to. Let's say I decide I really want to add a few extra pages to this. So what do I want to add? Maybe this one on selling your home. I'll throw that in there. Maybe I want to use a listing presentation cover page. I'll add that one. Maybe I want to add one on using social media to find the right buyer. 11 things you need to list your property. Maybe a seller service pledge. Maybe something on staging your home. There's also stuff on for sale by owners, on planning your move, during your move, and so on. And I might even throw in an estimated net worksheet. But let's pull this out, and we can always reorganize it as well. And I'm going to actually jump close to the end. And I'm going to create that presentation a second time. Now, again, you can email this, you can print it, you can bind it and take it with you, make a really nice presentation. Save that same one. And I'm going to come back to view PDF when this is done. And now this time, it's got a different cover page because I've created one. It says it's for John Miller at Cross Creek. It actually fills in all my information. I don't have to fill it in. Talks about selling your home, creates a page on that, something on social media. We did that checklist, seller service pledge, another checklist to stage your home for a showing, and then goes right into that CMA. Again, a great software program that allows you to put together CMA very, very quickly. Now, let's say, for example, I want to start over and I want to do the same thing, but this time I want to do it from the Pocono multi-list. I can create a presentation, that same listing presentation. I can pick out whatever pages I want. And I can put in John Miller again. In this case, I might use 123 Buckeye Road, and I might pick another area. And then I'll go back over to the Pocono multi-list. This is what this looks like. And let's run a search here. Let's say, for example, I want to search in Buck Hill Falls. So I'm going to do a quick search. I'm going to leave residential up here. Now, keep in mind, there's 1,103 houses for sale, but what I really want includes pendings and closed. And here's the closed, goes back 366 days. I can change that if I want. And I, in this case, want a particular development. I want Buck Hill Falls. So I'm going to scroll down until I find that. And oops, I went too far. So I've got Buck Hill Falls, brings up 50 sales. Now, maybe I only want this section and I might highlight that, or this section, or maybe I decide I don't want to go back 366 days. I want to go back 180. That's going to reduce us down to 23. So I review results. I can see everything that is available or sold in Buck Hill Falls recently. And we do a lot of business there. I can check this off to select all of them. And once again, I can come over here and export listings. And in this case, I'm going to export them as ToolKit CMA export. I'm going to type in this little code down here, YZNNP, and it's going to export those listings for me. Again, as another export, and I can come back to here and I can actually pull them in. So that's how to create a very, very quick CMA on a property that looks fantastic and looks like you just spent a lot of time putting it together. Very professional, very easy to do. And I suggest doing it every time you possibly can on putting together your CMAs. Now, if you have any questions at all about this, please see your manager, see your trainer, see your mentor to help you to set this up. But again, it's very easy to do. It's a matter of taking some time and putting comps in here and trying to utilize it. Other than that, have a great day, and I will see you in the next recording.